Hi, I'm Bart Hanson. I'm the owner and operator of CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the phone number in the description.
I have the effective stack of $560.
Okay, so you're deep.
I'm deep.
Yeah.
I've never played this deep before, but I'm deep. Ace queen on the button. Ace queen of diamonds on the button. Under the gun calls. Under the gun +1. Middle position one. Hijack and the cutoff all call $2.
So like six limpers in front of you. Is that about right?
Correct.
Okay. So six limpers in front. Now, before you tell me your sizing here, because we think some people have had some issues with sizing, what do you usually raise to if no one had come in the pot in this game?
I make it 12 +1 for every limper.
Okay, so this should be like 24 or something like that, right? 24 or 25, yeah. Right?
I made it 20.
Okay.
Maybe a little on the smaller side. Oh, I made it 20. I guess I should have gone a little bigger here. The standard raise opens in this game are between 6 and 10.
Okay.
I seem to get action on, like I said, I try to keep going higher and higher till in the field. But they'll call pretty much anything.
So you make it 20 on the button, ace queen of diamonds.
Correct. The hijack calls and the cutoff call.
So hijack and cutoff calls, and these were both guys that had over limped, which is important, multiple limpers. So they're usually not going to have a strong hand, right? They over limped, meaning that like people had limped in front of them and they limped. So it's not like they're going to end up with like pocket jacks or something like that. Like never.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
They're both very aggressive players. I come from a limit background, and I seem to get pushed around a lot in this game. So I've been working on becoming more aggressive.
Okay, so
the flop,
go to the flop.
Okay, the flop comes 2 of diamonds, 4 of clubs, 5 of diamonds.
So you have ace queen of diamonds, right?
Correct.
So it's 5 of diamonds, 4 of clubs, deuce of diamonds. So you've got 2 overcards, nut flush draw, and a gutter wheel draw here, right?
Correct.
Big flop.
Big flop, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The hijack makes it 35.
Hijack bets 35. Wow, interesting.
Bets $35.
Yep.
The cutoff raises to 110.
Wow, okay. And now it's on you.
Now it's on me.
Mm-hmm.
I make the call.
All right, so let's take a look at here. So I might throw a couple things out at you. What's your name?
Thomas.
All right, so hijack bets 35. Let's say that the cutoff had just called. What would you have thought about this? Like, how would you have approached this here? What do you think that the hijack's leading out with? Because it's interesting because you have the nut flush draw, right? So usually when you see people lead out at the pre-flop raiser, they'll have a fair amount of flush draws, but you have the nut flush draw, which is obviously going to block a lot of flush draws.
Correct. I put the hijack on mid pair, maybe
like sixes or sevens. So you think that he could be leading out with 6s through 9s? I mean, it's obviously possible that he overlimped those hands over a couple of limpers. The play pre-flop probably isn't super aggressive. If that was the case, where you thought hijack was leading and then the cutoff called, there's so much dead money out there with your effective stacks. If you think that there's going to be fold equity against what is a mediocre sort of made hand from the hijack, then you could obviously raise. This is if it went bet call. So I actually wouldn't even have that much of a problem with raising if it went bet call. Or even for that matter, heads up. Sometimes people say, well, I don't even need to raise heads up. I can just call if hijack bet and cutoff folded. The other flip side to that is that it sort of sucks sometimes if you raise somebody off of an inferior draw, right? Like someone has inferior diamonds, or someone has like ace wheel so that they have like ace 4, ace 5, and you guys have the same straight draw, and then you can sort of free roll them. But you would still probably at this point rather win the pot. Obviously now what ended up happening was that the hijack bet 35, cutoff raised to 110. You know, I'm sure there is almost never going to be a raise fold button in a Hoym game like this. And if people don't know what I'm talking about when I say raise fold, like the times that the cutoff is going to raise and then fold to a 3-bet is very, very small. and you can almost treat the cutoff as almost like being all in, meaning that like you've got a boatload of equity here with ace queen of diamonds, but the cutoff is actually probably representing definitely a stronger hand than one pair. So if he has a hand like 6-3, or if he flopped a wheel, then you're just basically getting it in with sort of a dry flush draw. If he has a set, you've got a gutter and a flush draw, and you're probably like a 2-1 dog. So he is definitely like showing strength. You know what I mean? I don't know if you know anything about the cutoff, but I do like the
Right.
call from
Yeah, the
here.
cutoff's very aggressive. He's either, like I said, he's either up 1,000 or down 2,000 weekly.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's very aggressive player. He just plays for the action.
Yeah.
I guess I'd put it that way. He's taken me off many hands, many a times, because he knows, like I said, I play tighter and I get pushed around. So
Well, I mean,
I'm
well,
happy
if
to have
you're
this
saying
piece
that
of
the
his luck.
cutoff is aggressive, are you saying that he could be raising with a hand like ace-4 and then he's going to fold to like a raise behind you, behind
Well,
him?
I feel like he could raise to a fold, or he could fold to a raise for me.
Well, I mean, listen, then you have to do like a parlay. Like you've got to parlay the fact that the hijack is leading and the fact that the cutoff is going to actually raise fold. Now, like I said, typically the cutoff is at this level people aren't going to be raise folding, but there are two different conditional things that have to happen here. Number one, the hijack has to fold, which he very well might be because he's facing a raise and a re-raise, and the cutoff has to raise fold. I mean, if you think that the hijack doesn't like lead out with big hands and the cutoff could just be like raising with a pair, then we could make a case where you could just actually just three bet get it all in here with your equity, and it would probably be a profitable play. But that's making some rather large assumptions, and I would have to know my players very, very well to do that. I do think that the play is to call. You did call, right? Hero calls.
I did call.
Yep.
The hijack also called.
That's interesting. Because if the hijack also calls, is the hijack leading with sevens, getting raised, and then you call? Is he going to overcall behind? Now sixes is a gutter to a 3.
Right.
So now the pot all of a sudden is like very, very large, right? What is it like?
I've got the pot at 430.
430. And you have
I'm sorry. I take that back. The
330.
pot is 402.
Oh, 402. And you've got like about just over a pot size bet left, right? Something like that.
Correct.
Okay. All right, let's go to the turn.
Turn is a 3 of spades.
All right, interesting. So you got a wheel, but obviously there's a one-liner here to a 6, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
The hijack checks, and the cutoff makes it 325.
Hijack checks, and the cutoff bets 325. Wow, that's really interesting.
So at this point, I'm putting him on either.
Well, I don't think
crazy as
he's
it
not
sounds.
betting. He's not. I mean, unless he is entirely clueless about the game, which could be possible. There is one range of hands that can be easily taken out of his range. What do you think I'm talking about? So when you look at his flop play, we put him on a range of hands, right? So
Right.
what hands on the flop would he not bet 325 here on the turn? What strong hands that were flopped?
That's a set.
Yes, definitely the sets. Unless he is entirely clueless, he's not. He should
Right.
and should not be betting 325 into two people after this action when a one-liner to an ace comes out. So
Right.
we're going to go with that assumption that he doesn't have a set. So now the issue here is as well, is he going to continue to drive an ace here? Is he going to be scared? Does he think an ace is the nuts? Obviously, a 6 here is the nuts. 6-7 would be open-ended. So, I mean, there's a possibility of that. It's sort of peculiar that he continues to bet here when the hijack could also have a 6 in his hand. I got to tell you, though, I don't know if I can make these laydowns at this level. Now, some people might say, well, guys who are going to bet the turn they're always going to have a 6. But you just said that the guy was a little bit out of whack, right? Or that he's aggressive.
Way out of whack. Way out
Then
of
I
whack.
can't
right.
fold
Just
here.
Yeah.
I can't
Right.
fold because you're going to get a price, and even if the hijack has a 6 behind, you have the nut flush draw. You know what I mean?
That's
It's
what
like
I'm looking at. at worst, I'm chopping with the ace and free rolling the flush.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I was looking at.
Yeah.
I end up going all in, shoving all in.
Well, now let's talk about that, though. That's interesting. So, well, you have 400 left, right? Is it just 400?
I have 430 left, and he made it 325.
So, you have 430 left, and he's made it 325. So, there's a little interesting thing here, right? Which is, why do you want to shove out the guy in the hijack when you have the nut flush draw, and you got to beat the cutoff anyways, right? Do you see what I'm saying? So shoving, the hijack's going to call with the 6. The only reason why you would ever shove all in here, okay, or you would want to drive the hijack out of the hand, remember the hijack's the guy that bet first, is if you thought for some reason that he would fold an ace. That the turn action would be cutoff bets 325, you shove, and the hijack somehow folds an ace, and you either win the pot against the idiot or you guys chop it with an ace. But I find that hard to believe that the hijack even has an ace, because we talked about, hey, what's his flop leading range? He's the one that started the betting on the flop, right? On deuce 4, 5, 2 diamonds when he came out and led for 35. Right. I mean, I guess he could have ace 5 or ace 4. It's possible. But I would just go call here. That's my reaction. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't see a need to shove. Just in case the guy like wants to stick around with a hand like 7, 8 of diamonds, right? He's got a gutter to a 6. You're destroying that hand, right? How many outs does he have? I mean, he's got 3 outs, right, with 1 card to come. So that's just a little. So I would just go call here, not shove. You know what I mean?
Okay, and leave the 105 behind then.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you shove.
So I shove. The hijack folds.
Okay.
And the cutoff calls.
Okay, and what happens?
He flips. The river comes at 2, offsuit 2.
Okay.
He flips over 6, 9 of diamonds.
6, 9 of diamonds. Okay, so he had a 6, right? So he actually raised with a combo draw on the flop. Right. Got shot and 6 high 9 high diamonds and made it on the turn. I mean, that does make sense for sure.
Right.
But again, you know, some people might say, well, against some people that just won't put it in without the nuts, maybe the turn's a fold. But you got to know your players at this level, because you're definitely going to see some wacky shit here. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So
definitely.
Anyways,
I appreciate you taking my call, Bart.
All right, thanks for the call. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA200. Click on the link right there.